two Fourth Doctor stories to go. First one up, Image of the Fendahl, the third serial of Doctor Who's 15th season, first broadcast in 4 parts from the 29th of October to the 19th of November 1977, and written by Chris Boucher. This particular story, I feel it started out well for me, but by the end of it, I'll admit it kind of fell a little bit flat for me. It's got some good stuff in there, but also some stuff I wasn't so keen on. But anyway, the story focuses on a priory, which is kind of like a kind of monastery, just outside the village of Fetchborough in England. Now, inside the priory are a group of scientists. Dr. Fendahl, played by Dennis Lill, Max Stale, played by Scott Fredericks, Adam Colby, played by Edward Arthur, and Thea Ransom, played by Wanda Ventman. And they have just discovered, or recently discovered, a skull from a cave archaeological site, and this skull appears to be over 12 million years old, which they kind of find a bit odd because it would predate the earliest known record of man on planet Earth. So, while conducting a sonic time scan on the skull to try and find out exactly what the original owner may have looked like, they end up alerting the Fourth Doctor, played by Tom Baker, and his companion Leela, played by Louise Jameson, aboard the TARDIS, who decide to head to Fetchborough to the Priory to have a look. Now, the first thing that I'll admit I'm not so keen on, I know it might seem like a minor detail, is Louise Jameson's outfit for this particular story, because I know that Leela, she was aggressive, but then she also wore kind of scantily clad outfits, and I know some people may love her for that, but I wasn't a fan of this particular outfit. I mean, I feel like it was trying to kind of overly sexualise her, but to me it just kind of didn't really work. For those who don't know, in this outfit she appears to be wearing an all-gold outfit, kind of with an all-gold tank top, and to me it just feels like they should have either gone sexier or more modest, and they tried to go somewhere in between, and for me it just didn't really work. But I don't blame Louise Jameson for that. I don't even blame the costume designers or the storyboards. It's just some things work, some things don't. And for me, this particular outfit just didn't really work. It's also quite clear to me early on at least, they didn't entirely know what to do with K9. K9 had joined the previous story, The Invisible Enemy, but K9 ends up staying aboard the TARDIS for this particular adventure, which I can kind of understand. I mean, the English countryside isn't necessarily going to be the best place to wheel around a remote-controlled robot dog, so, yeah, I can kind of understand that. But anyway, they end up heading to the Priory, where they heading towards the Priory, but are seemingly attacked by a creature kind of in the darkness of the night. This is a story that was actually mostly filmed at night, which did actually prove problematic when filming. Having to deal with schedules to get everything kind of lined up for shooting at night. Anyway, Leela ends up making her way to a cottage nearby, where she meets up with a man named Jack Tyler, played by Jeffrey Hinchcliffe, and his grandmother, Martha Tyler, played by Daphne Hurd. Now, Martha is kind of a local witch, and she knows that something weird is going on at the Priory, to which the scientists of the Priory, once they've done kind of experiments on the skull, things start happening, and Max Steel, one of the scientists, is actually a member of the local black magic cult, and he intends to sacrifice another one of the scientists, Thea Ransom, and use her body for the manifestation of the Fendahl. Because thanks to their experiments, various creatures have been shown up called the Fendaline. They're part of a Gestalt alien which, once all 12 members do a certain ritual, they can summon a manifestation of a creature known as the Fendahl, kind of a gold-faced woman, which they plan to use Thea Ransom for. The Doctor eventually works out that these creatures are similar to ones he remembers from Time Lord mythology, or mythology back on Gallifrey, to which when he and Leela briefly go to have a look at where these creatures are supposed to be from, the 5th planet, they find themselves unable to access it because the Time Lords locked it in a time loop and made all the information invisible to Time Lords. Now, as I said, with this story, it's got some good parts in there, but I'll admit I was slightly let down by the ending. To which most of the story goes pretty far. They find out that the Fendahl, or the Fendaline, their weakness is sodium chloride, or to the more common as salt. So using rock salt and table salt, they're able to push the Fendaline back, and the Doctor and Leela ultimately set up a way to detonate an explosive beneath the Priory, sealing up the Fendahl and the Fendaline, destroying them forever, and ultimately getting out of there alive. To which, for me, I just felt that this story was wrapped up just a little bit too quickly. I feel if they had taken one more rewrite, maybe one more part of this, maybe a 5-part story, this could have been something really great. Once again, I don't think any one particular person is to blame for all of this, but yeah, I just feel like if they'd gone a little bit longer with this, it all feels towards the end a little bit rushed. Anyway, Max Steel ends up pretty much sacrificing himself. Dr. Fendelman is killed fairly early on in order for some sort of blood ritual, and the 3 people who aren't the main characters who seem to get out of this alive are the Tylers and Adam Colby, who was freed from the ritual by the Doctor. To which they run back to the house, and the Doctor tells them, look, we may or may not come back from this, just have a good life with it. To which they're seen pretty much going for a cup of tea and a slice of cake, which, English countryside in the 1970s, that pretty much checks out. But yeah, I do feel like one more rewrite and a little bit longer, we could have had something really great here. Also, for what I said earlier about Leela's gold outfit, it seems that they thought so as well, as by the end of the episode, when the Doctor and Leela are back aboard the TARDIS, says, oh, I like how you dress. It's my old dress. Yeah, I prefer that one. To which, yeah, I have to admit, I prefer that one as well. Like, when she isn't tied her hair back, when she's got her hair down and she's wearing her brown outfit rather than the gold, I personally thought that suited Leela a bit more. But anyway, as I said, Image of the Fendahl, it's not a terrible story. I was just a little let down by the ending, and it's got a few minor details that I think could have done a bit more. But anyway, I only got one more 4th Doctor story to go, and that is The Creature from the Pit. What do you think of that one? Well, I'll have to wait and see. Until then, allons-y.